I was a Muslim and I converted to Christ. In Islam I was a spiritual master for 4 years operating in the world of jinns. In Satanism I became a healer because the devil found out that God had placed the gift of divine healing in me. Thus he began to use that very gift that God gave me in the dark ways. We believe that Christian must go through deliverance. Many pastors are working with demon called jinns that come from the jinniya world, and these demon are causing people to fall when the pastor pray and called the so-called Holy Spirit. This world is dark and is getting darker and darker. When the Lord saved me, he told me, you will tell the world everything you have done and you will not hide anything. My father always warned to be careful for witchcraft exist, and told me don't eat people food. Before involving my life into the spirit world, I was sleeping one day and I dreamed that I was with friends talking, but then I saw 3 eagles flying above us. I told my friend, look at the eagle in the sky. That's when I saw the 3 eagles making a turn and they began to descend towards me in order to cover me with their wings. I told myself these eagles must be spirit. Already whenever I dream dreams they happen. I was a boxer but I was always attracted by spiritual things. As a boxer I decided to resort to fetishism, for strength and protection. It happened one day when I was with friend and one of them said, I know a man that give people fetish for fighting. I was curious and we went together to consult the guy who gave people fetish. I am thankful that the friend who led me to this dark path converted at the same time I came to Christ, and today he is an evangelist. When we arrived at the fetishist I saw that the guy was a Muslim cleric. We were instructed to buy perfume, razor and bones of electric fish. The fetishist led us to the toilet where he did incision on my body to obtain a talisman called Punch to Death. He did incantation and introduced bones of electric fish in my incision and told us you will see the effect of this incision in the night, and when it manifests you must punch the wall to stop the manifestation. It was night when I saw that I was shaking brutally, like the wrestler called the Ultimate Warrior, and I punched the wall of my bedroom to stop the shaking. The devil is cunning and decided to use my star. I began to desire more power. Every time native doctor came from the village I went after him to get more power. I got the power called hammer punch, dizzy punch, comma punch. In the mosque I did ablation and got baptized in Islam and began to attend the mosque. I wanted power quicker, but the cleric told me, take your time and study. I felt that he was closing the door of power to me. I thought it was a long process and I went to look for a shortcut to get more power as quickly as possible. I ended up with the cleric called Ali who also gave me some power, but I was not satisfied. I joined this powerful cleric that used to live in my street. He is the one who connected to the world of the spirit. He was summoning all kind of spirit, and I began to work with him. That's where I learned to give people power. Football team came to us in order to win match. People came to us to win the heart of women. I became a master and began to do demonstration turning leave to money note and people began to call me master. One day I went with my friend to visit the cleric. We arrived in the mosque, and the Muslim cleric invoked the jinns, and when the jinns landed they greeted the cleric and asked him, you call us to your world, what is the issue? He said there is a young man who has issue and want to see you. They then began to talk to my friend who came for insight. Then these jinn asked me, young man, do you have a problem? I said no, I am just accompanying my friend. At that time I was just analyzing and studying the whole thing because my previous cleric warned me against these jinns. 1 week later, I received the visit of my new cleric that was knocking on my door, yet I never gave him my address. I asked him, how do you know my place? He laughed and told me, the jinns gave me your address because they want to talk to you about many things about your life. We went to the mosque and the cleric summoned the jinns, and when they landed they greeted us and we greeted them. These are evil spirits that take many shapes. They can manifest and speak in the shape of a moving light, or pillar of fire, or a voice in the sky, or a wind. When the jinns landed in the mosque in the shape of column of fire they told me, last time we asked you whether you have a problem or not, you told us that you are fine, but when we went to our world and checked information about your life, we saw that you have problem and we want to help you. They began to tell me the problem that I had at home and described everything happening in my family. These entities began to tell me, we came to you because you have a star that is shining. and whenever you sleep you see things that always happen. That is why we want to work with you and initiate you so that you can work with us like your master. From today we changed your name, you are called Hamza. Your master will teach you about the spirit world where we come from, so that you can work with us. My master said, you must be prepared because these spirit can destroy your life in second. They have no mercy. There are many protocols and reality that you will face. There is especially a jinn called Asbunga. When he come, you will hear the sound at night, riding a horse galloping and approaching you, and when he get close he will burst into laugh and will begin to introduce himself enumerating his many grade in the spirit world, and then he will begin to laugh again sarcastically before continuing to introduce himself, and if you fear him when he is coming you may become crazy. First you need to have your spiritual eyes opened, in order to see who is your colleague and to see these spirit, for some of them are deceivers. He gave me prayer called mantra and meditation to open the third eye and activation the spirit for astral travel. He told me, first you must learn visualization, visualize the spirit that you want to invoke, then you must learn to use the power of words, learn to speak, then learn to act and set up temple. He taught me how to meditate in order to open the third eyes. I did meditation up to a level where I saw a great light and I fell like in coma. This was called illumination. The master said, don't worry, very soon your spirit will come out of the body and will be free from the limitation. The next time I did meditation my spirit left my body. I only had to think about my destination and I was there immediately. I felt a freedom and a joy to be liberated from the limitation of the body. I could fly where I wanted faster than Superman, and in second, I was testing my spirit going from place to another, and I returned to my body, and my master said, congratulations, you following the procedure to become a master. Now you need a jinn so that he will be walking with you and living with you. On that day when I came to meet the cleric there was a lady that came to abort. The cleric took me inside a room of another cleric and began to do incantation to abort the pregnancy of the lady. As a result of his magic prayer the jinns appeared. These jinn were demon that Muslim call entities. They come with negative energy and they can appear on the wall and you began to hear their voice speaking on the wall. They can speak in the body of man through his mouth or in a tree and the tree begin to speak. They can manifest without using a physical element. When they appear physically, I saw that they were short, they were dwarves demon, who had a lot of hair, with huge rotten teeth and saliva was dripping from their mouth, and they smelled rottenness. Since the pregnant lady could not bear these entities they spoke through the wall, and after ritual the lady pregnancy was aborted and the demon took away the aborted baby. Anybody that ever attended the native doctor, medium or mystic be warned that your star was stolen and your name was recorded in the kingdom of Satan, and nothing will work in your life. That's why you need deliverance. You are being monitored and controlled and blocked. The temple of native doctor, medium and mystic is not necessarily material. It's like a man of God. He can be in the bus and begin to pray and preach. As a result God presence come down. The mystic can be in your house and turn it to a temple by invoking demon and doing ritual. People's stars are stolen and handed over to those who come to the devil for wealth, success and progress. Generally they say that Islam has two face, the normal face and the mystical face. But I can tell you there is only one face and it is occultism. For Muslim cleric can summon demon called jinns and can stop and arrest these demon in case they are causing trouble. For these jinns are naturally furious and they come from the world of cemetery. When they come and you don't negotiate properly people become mad and lose their mind, unless you know prayer that will stop them. In search power, we stole the prayer book of a guru contain all the magic of the world and I reached height level where I began to block witches. There is a talk of a witch killing a Catholic priest. I don't buy that because Catholicism is high magic and in order to become a priest you go through many level of initiation, yet witchcraft is the lower level of magic. I remember one day my father took my notebooks in order to read what I learn in school. It was a big surprise when he saw inside my notes satanic prayer. He was shocked and cry and he called my uncle, who took all the notebook to a native doctor. The latter told them, given the age of your son, if he continue in magic he will become crazy. The prayers in these notebook are high-level Satanism. Back then I did not give power to pastors but we worked together. Over time I became a healer and a mystic. What happened was that when people came to me for wealth, what I did was to identify person's star, which is the wealth that God gave him. This wealth was supposed to manifest at a certain age of his life according to God planning, but since he came to the devil, we were gathering his wealth that was in his star, and giving it to him in the present moment, instead of waiting for the future as God has planned, meaning, it's your money that God gave you in your star, that I was making available to people in the present time, instead of the future. The devil has no money to give humanity, he only take people's star which is their wealth and give it to them, but with condition. The devil will likely ask you to kill, and do horrendous things, yet the money he is going to give you is your own money, that come from yourself, I mean your star that God gave you. My master the clerical Muslim summoned me in his temple and he began to invoke the jinns called Shama Oki, a prince of demon, who have many spirit as his service, like the goddess Maimona, who is her daughter. When the demon Shama appeared in the temple, he asked the cleric, now what to do about Hamza, which was my new name. The cleric said to Shama, we need to give him a spirit that will work with him. They called a demon that manifested. This spirit was supposed to work with me, but I heard about this wicked spirit, the goddess Maimona also appear, and both of these demons wanted to work with me. Since I had information about the functioning of jinns, I knew that Maimona was better for me, and the other demon that was called Isbunda was erratic and demand a lot of human sacrifice, and you have no choice but to comply. Therefore I told my master that I cannot work with him. I learned that when you work with him he would to come to dwell in your body and then he will ask to sign a pact with him, but when you want to separate from him and break the pact there will be trouble. This demon helped the Satanists gravitate level very quickly. This is ordered to tell you to offer more sacrifice as a payment for rapid gravitation of spiritual rank and level in the spirit. He give the impression that he freely give power, success, women, and he trick you to think and that everything is easy and free, without telling you how you will pay for that, and he will tell you don't worry I know what to do. As a result people will be dying without your consent. If you are not prudent he will sacrifice the whole of your family, and when people die instead of seeing him they would be seeing your face as if you gave consent for the killing. This is how he tricked the magician and Satanist. People will die in your name with your name on their lips. When the ritual was about to start I bought parfum, pigeon, white sheet. The prince of demon Shama asked me, do you want Maimona to be introduced in your body or to be accompany you? Since I didn't want demon in my body, Maimona was introduced in a chain that I was wearing, and I was given a code to summon her. This goddess of water was powerful in terms of love, sex. The first time she came to visit me at night because they prefer to come to earth at night rather than the day, for they can stay on earth longer during the night rather than the day. Most of their activity is at the night. When she came I talked to her about my life on the surface and she talked to me about her world underwater. Sometimes when she came to visit me she took me to her world in the water for visit. She showed her world, even her family, and she introduced me and we talk. This was astral journey, not in the physical, because a portal opened in the water and we enter, and we found ourselves in a city, but a city underwater. I saw big boulevard, cars, buildings, I saw people. I saw lady of water that had fish tails. I saw people with human body but head of animal. Some people had animal shape on the lower part. These marine spirit had many shape. It was like a dream, but a dream that is real. She showed me a lot of things and then we returned to the surface. I began to work with her. Whenever people came to me for their problem I would summon her and she began to give me code and word to recite to see result and resolve people problem. I began to work with this Jinn and this lady of the sea told me her intention was to get married with me. Every time I had no money and talked to her I was waking up with money in my clothes. The money was new and real. The money she was giving me was so that we can become intimate. The closer we got, she told me, one day I will come so that we can have sex. And when she came on that day she did not manifest as a spirit but she came in the form of a beautiful lady. These women of water when they come to earth most of the time they come in the shape of white ladies. Even if you have sex with these lady in the spirit or the dream the effect is always physical. When you have sex in the dream with ladies that are mermaid it's not a good thing because these water ladies steal people energy. These evil spirits, when they enter in covenant with men and women, they only look at their interest because they are dark spirit and have no tendency to be benevolent to humanity. They work with men only because they want to get something from men, which is vital energy. In order to understand vital energy, we need to talk about spiritual bodies. Among spiritual body there is a body called etheric body. This body called etheric distribute energy into the physical and spiritual body. When you sign a covenant with a mermaid, she will begin to dwell your body. When she enter your body, she will seat in the etheric body, where she will start consuming your vital energy, which enables siren and demon to operate with efficiency in the terrestrial world, and the underwater world, for under the water there are many spirits that are unemployed, and when a spirit get inside a human body, he ceased to be unemployed and become active and busy. That's why demon like entering into covenant with human, because they will feed of men vital energy and get opportunity to operate in the material world. That is why demon refuse to leave the body. These ladies of the water kingdom like men who are strong, so that they will recoup their vital energy during sexual intercourse, and this energy make them strong, powerful, and they are rejuvenated. These spirits are evil and cunning. When I was sleeping with this water diva, she was stealing from my star, and the money she was giving me was like 10% of what she was stealing from me, and the rest belonged to her. That is why celebrity in our country have money. They work with mermaid and the sirenic world, for these diva give success, fame and money quicker. It's in the sirenic world that you find vampire that consume men vital energy, energetic vampire that steal etheric energy reside in this kingdom. In this end time many pastor have siren in their body. These marine spirit give them power to perform miracle. These pastor have the tendency to prophecy because the siren whisper in their ears the life of people and what is hidden and secret. You will notice that these pastors have the spiritual of sexual immorality. These prophetic pastors have mermaid in them. They sleep with women so that their power will increase. When these pastors sleep with women, the siren that dwell in their body also steal the star and vital energy of these women. These siren give pastors the spirit of fornication, attraction and domination. As a result, ladies would be falling for the pastors by themselves. The pastor may think that he has become handsome because women are falling for them. He has just become an instrument for them to steal women's stars and vital energy, and when a siren is in this position, she is happy because she is busy doing something that elevate her level.